All right, who can relate to this? Feel like you never have enough time, like you just can't get it all done. There's those Twilight books, those vampires never sleep, and sometimes I'm like, oh, think how much I could get accomplished if I didn't have to sleep. Like there's just, especially this time of year for me, I'm teaching and coaching, and like I'm outside. I took the kids outside this week to do baseball, which meant I basically was not on my computer except for my planning period. And if any of you know, my office is under the stairs. I'm like Harry Potter. And it's stinky and it's dark. So I planned in the cafeteria, but all the kids are coming to the cafeteria. So like people stop to talk to me, and I'm opening the door, and I'm like, I can't get it all done. Like I was asleep by 10 o'clock multiple days this week. And usually I like get in bed at 10 and read. And I was out. I was tired. And I just feel like I run, go, and like collapse at the end of the day. And the to-do list just keeps growing. And I just can't get it done. And I'm like, why don't I have enough time? Why is there so much to do? And I think about how I spend my time, and I'm like, I do all this stuff, and at the end of the day, like, did I even accomplish anything? Like, I don't even know if I did. And it's so frustrating to feel like you cannot get it all done. And so I was been thinking about this process. Oh, because this is my life. Anyone else? Adulthood. But after this week, things will slow down. And you just keep saying that over and over until you die. That's how I feel. I have a friend, and she'll run into me, and she'll be like, hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh, I'm good, but man, I'm busy. And I'll tell her all the things I got going on this week. And then she'll run into me a month later, and she's like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, oh, man, I'm busy. And I've got a whole different list of things. And she's like, you know you always have too much going on. I'm like, yeah, but it'll get better. Once this is over, she's like, that's what you said last month. I'm like, this is what I said last month, and it's still not better, and this is how I feel like my life is. Constantly, it'll get better after this, after cheerleading, after this month, after school starts, after I get through seminary, after I get through this, things will calm down, and yet I feel like things very often don't calm down. And I'm like, oh. And so I've been thinking about this concept of time and why I don't have enough time. And I saw this TED Talk that is really good and really like, ugh. So I'm going to show you guys this clip from this TED Talk. You guys, that's 26 years of screen time. The average 18-year-old right now, if they continue to use phones the way they are, poor Elijah, he's the young one in the room, we're picking on him. Well, it's okay, Elijah, I'm going to pick on us here in a minute. The average 18-year-old is on track to spend 26 years of their life on their phones, on a screen. TikTok, they don't do Facebook. They're too cool for Facebook. TikTok, Instagram, video games, YouTube, binge watching Netflix. 26 years. That is a long time. And I know all of us older people in the room were like, psh, those youngsters, I would never spend that much time on my computer. I would never spend that much time on my phone. I'm better than that. So the average teen spends about 7-ish hours, teens, 7-ish, 7 to 7.5 on average on their phones. But let's look at the adults. So here's the rest of us. Now I'm 51. And so for me, I'm going to spend on average 75 hours a month. This is hours per month. My average, my age group, we are on track, for me in the 50s, 75 hours a month. That's 3 days. My age group is on track, and I'm in the middle of that, is on track to spend 3 days a month on our phones. That is a lot of time. No wonder I don't have time to do anything. If I am on Facebook and YouTube and binge watching Netflix every day, and I'm spending 3 days a month on like devices or watching screens, of course I can't get anything done. And I get this because I do this. I will check Facebook and I'll scroll I'll scroll until I see the important stuff, and then I'll keep scrolling because I'll see some funny dog video, or I'll see some like, oh, did you know scientists found a way to like make algae eat sunlight, or make energy or something, and I'm like, oh, really? And so I get buried in that. And then I'll be like, okay, I'm done with Facebook, and I'll put it down, and then I'll turn on Netflix and watch a show or two, and then I shower and I get in bed, and I'm going to read my book, and then I'm like, well, let me just make sure I didn't get any new notifications on Facebook, and then I'm back on Facebook for another half an hour before I'm supposed to be going to sleep. And I have to fight that urge. When I go into my bedroom and I have that phone sitting there and I plug it in, I have to fight the urge to not check Facebook one more time. I just checked it. Like half an hour ago, I just checked it. There's nothing that important that someone posted at 9 o'clock at night on a Tuesday that I need to turn my phone back on, and yet I'm on there. I'm a victim of it. And so, like, I get it. I want to say, like, I would never do that, but I watch at least one Netflix show before bed. I'm on Facebook. I check Facebook almost every day. Now, I'm not much of an Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. It's not even Twitter anymore, it's X. But like we took my girls, the Holmes cheerleaders hosted my girls for dinner, and we went and we eat, and you know what they all did after they ate? They've got their phone set up and they're like doing little TikTok videos. That's what all of them were doing. They were not standing around talking to each other. Well, I mean, they were joking with each other, but they were all filming TikTok videos or like taking 75 selfies and posting them. Like, that's what the young generation does, and I'm going to be honest, that's what our generation does. How many of you go somewhere and you've got more than 12 seconds to sit still, and what do? You get on your phone. I go to the chiropractor and I've got to wait for him to see me. What do? I'm on my phone. I'm like sitting at a light. Oh, I got to send this text message. I got to tell this person I'm going to check on this. I'm going to look something up. We're on our phones constantly, and it's stealing not only our time from the stuff we want to get done, but it's also stealing our time with God. How many of you, I say this all the time, like, so what are you reading in the Bible right now? Oh, well, I don't really have time to read the Bible. Okay. Well, how much time do you spend on Facebook every day? Oh, what's God talking to you about right now in your life? Well, I don't really have time to talk to God right now. I'm so busy. And I'm like, oh, did you watch Netflix? I want to say, oh, what you watch on Netflix? Okay. Oh, what funny videos do you like to watch on YouTube? Because we make time for that, but then we don't make time for God, and then we wonder why God feels far away. Or we make time for Facebook and X and YouTube and video games, and then we wonder why our relationships are failing, because we don't take time to call somebody. We are spending so much time on these little devices, and they are stealing from our lives. From us, in my age group, it's stealing 3 days a month. That's 36 days a year. That's basically a month. I'm basically losing a month a year on my phone, on a device, on a screen. That's a lot. That's a lot of time. 1/12 of my life I'm spending on my device, and then I say I don't have time for stuff. I don't have time to read that book. I don't have time to call my parents. I don't have time to call my brother. But we find time to do this every day. And we wonder why we feel disconnected and exhausted. In the book of Ephesians, this guy Paul, I'm pretty sure Paul's the one who wrote that one. He says we have to be careful, because my question is always, what does the Bible have to say about it? But of course, the Bible doesn't talk about social media, because I wasn't around back then. But Paul does say you got to be careful how you live, not unwise, but wise, making the most of every opportunity, because the days are evil. We have an enemy. There is an enemy. They call him devil, the Satan, whatever you want to call him. And he's a jerk. And he wants you to be as far away and as disconnected from God as possible. And so I'm not saying that phones are evil, but he knows exactly how to use them for his evil purposes. Oh, if I get hooked on dog. I love those talking dog videos. They take like an actual video of a dog barking at a cat or something, and then someone voices over it. Like, I watch so many of those. I love them. And, you know, and like, so then I don't have time to do things because I'm watching a bunch of voiceover videos, whatever. The enemy loves that. He loves that I like want to put my phone down and get some sleep because I'm tired, but now I got to check my notifications. He loves that I think to myself, I should call my brother, but I really want to sit here and watch Netflix. The enemy loves that, and he feeds us that. And the makers of social media, a bunch of them kind of grew a conscience after they like developed all this stuff, and they're like, oh snap, this stuff is bad. Like if you go to Silicon Valley, the people who invent all this stuff, they don't let their kids have phones because they know how bad and detrimental phones are to their kids. To me, that's an indication. You know, if the cereal company doesn't let their kids eat the cereal, would you let your kids eat the cereal? You know, if they know what goes in it, would you let them, and they don't let their kids have it, would you want your kids to have it? They've intentionally made these things as addictive as possible. They have looked at human psychology and written these algorithms, and the algorithms figure out Stephanie loves voiceover videos. Let's find some more voiceover videos, and we'll feed, just as she's starting to flag, she's going to read the stuff from her friends, and then she's going to start to slow down. We'll throw in a cat video, and that'll keep her hooked in. Oh, and you just like that one? You sat and watched that dog video? Let me give you another one. And they'll keep feeding you what it takes to keep you on. And scientists are following, those of you who understand brain chemistry and dopamine, these videos that we like, these TikToks, they give you these little bursts of dopamine constantly, and we're getting addicted to our phones. We're getting addicted to that notification. You're sitting there at dinner and you feel the buzz in your pocket. And what do? You pull it out and look at it. We sit down to dinner with our friends and family who we want to have one-on-one conversation, and what do we do with our phones? We lay it face up. That way if a notification pops up, we can see it and check it. I see families going to dinner, and what are they all doing? Sitting at the table. I see it at lunch, at school. Kids are all sitting around the table instead of talking to each other, because it's the one, our kids now, they made a law, our kids cannot have phones in schools. And I had a kid this week say, I'm actually really grateful. I feel so much better knowing that phone is locked away and I can't check it. And they've done studies with kids. Pennsylvania, a school voluntarily did this, and they found by the end of the year, kids stopped bringing their phones to school. Grades went up. Kids felt less stressed. It's because these things are bringing us down. They're stealing our time. Kids can't concentrate on school if they're constantly checking their Snapchat. They have these kids these days, they have a word for it. They left me on red. That means they must sent you a message and they didn't right away message you back. And that's because they are so expecting, like the second you you get a notification, that you're supposed to pick it up and answer it. And it's stealing our attention. As a teacher, I have a hard time getting kids to pay attention to me when they've got their phone in their pocket. And they do this. My phone's recording. They'll be like this. What you doing? I don't think your lap is that important. But they do it because that notification goes off and they're like, I got a notification. I got to check it. I got to check it right now. The enemy is stealing our attention. He's stealing our time, and we have to be careful. We have to make a conscious effort to be wise, to be smart, to make decisions that maybe go against like society, because the days are evil, because the enemy is trying to steal your time. He is trying to steal your time so you can't be your best self. He's trying to steal your time so you're exhausted. If I stay up watching YouTube videos, binge watching Netflix, and don't get enough sleep, am I going to be a good teacher tomorrow? No, because I'm going to be exhausted. I'm going to be crabby. I can't be my best self when I'm exhausted. I can't get my stuff done and be efficient if I'm exhausted all the time. And the enemy knows that. So it feeds me more of those dog videos. And oh, here's another one. You'll like this. This is a teacher. This one's really funny. There's this guy now. He's a middle school teacher. He puts out videos of he acts how middle school kids act. They're really funny. So she's a teacher. She'll love that one. And now that one's in the mix of the videos that trap me on Facebook. And so I get it. It's stealing my time and energy. And I say I don't have any time, but I make time to check my Facebook every day. So what can we do? What are some practical things? One, we can remember to be careful. We can make a conscious decision to be wise and recognize that the enemy is trying to steal our time. That our phones, the addiction to our phones and screens, it's not just phones, it can be TV, tablets. That is the enemy is trying to lure us away from stuff. So here's some practical things that you can do. Number one, first and foremost, ask God to help you. Set that time aside. Like I get up, I check my phone just to see if I have a text notification. Because if it's not a text notification, any other notification can wait. And so I don't even look at that until after I've spent time with God and read the Bible. Like I don't check email before I read the Bible. I don't check YouTube. I don't check Facebook before I read the Bible in the day. So make a point of spending this is my God time, and I'm gonna put that phone over here. And ask God to help you with it. Turn off notifications. Did you notice, have you ever noticed that as soon as you turn on the app, now you're getting all these notifications? Like my dad has a smartphone, and he's like, what are all these things across the top? I'm like, they're all the notifications, Dad. Every app you've ever downloaded is giving you notifications all day long. Turn them off. He's like, I don't know how to do that. I will help you turn off your notifications if you need to. Okay? You should not be getting notifications for every single app that's on your phone. Turn them off. If they are pulling you away from time with friends and family, if they are not something that is integral to the functioning of your life, turn off those notifications. At least turn off the ding. Even if it still pops up on your screen, but you turn the ding, the noise off. That will help. Make some rules like no phones at the dinner table. I was out, when we were at Gatlinburg, I saw this jar, and it was something like the loud jar. It had a name. I was like, what? It looks like a big cookie jar. I was like, what is this? And they're like, that's for phones. And it's like a cookie jar that phones go in during dinner so that nobody's checking their phone during dinner. I'm like, that's brilliant. And you could also use a cookie jar. But it's so smart to have a place where they go, and it's not on the table. It's not where anybody can see it. Because I don't know about you, but when I'm sitting there and I'm at dinner with somebody and they get a notification, they pick up while I'm talking to them and they start texting, that makes me feel like I don't matter to them. No phones, TVs, or computers or tablets in the bedroom. Bedrooms are for sleeping. And if you're sitting there watching TV while you go to sleep, then that stuff is running and your brain can't relax while you're trying to sleep. You know, they've got these old-fashioned things called alarm clocks. Because a lot of people will say, you shouldn't take your phone to bed. And they're like, but I use it as my alarm. And I do also. But they have these fancy old gadgets called alarm clocks. They will wake you up. I've got a really cool one. It has a light that gradually comes on. So it's like the sun rises in my bedroom in the morning. It's great. Get an alarm clock. If you're like, I got to have my phone because it's my alarm clock, well, get an actual one. They are not expensive. Go to Walmart. I bet you get one for $10. That's this. Okay. I got 3 slides of these. Set a timer. If you're going to get on social media, be like, okay, I'm allowing myself a half an hour for social media. Set a timer. And when the timer goes off, phone goes away. That's it. You can if you know how to set up parent controls in your phone, you can set your phone up to do this too. I don't know how to do it. I just set a timer. If you're a Facebook or Netflix binge watcher, set an episode limit. I'm only going to watch one, and then I'm going to go to bed. Because I get it. Sometimes you get to the end of the episode, and it's like cliffhanger. You're like, oh, now I got to watch what happens next. And I stay up and watch another episode. So set an episode limit. Okay, I've got time. I'm going to unwind and just chill out, but I'm only going to watch one episode, and then I'm going to shut it off and go to bed. I don't even think, remember when Netflix used to say, are you still there? It doesn't do that anymore because it's so used to people binge watching. You can create a bedtime. Like my phone, at times, I used to have to do this because I would read until 2 in the morning and then I'd be tired. Create a bedtime. Okay, 10 o'clock, whatever. That's my bedtime. All tech goes away at bedtime. My phone gets charged in the dining room instead of in the bedroom. There are no TVs or tablets or computers allowed in the bedroom. I'm going to go into the bedroom. I can read a book. I can pray. I can talk to my spouse, whatever, but no tech in the bedroom after bedtime. Because having our tech in the bedroom is interfering with romance. We'll talk about that later. There's some disturbing statistics on that one too. And then, no, why do we have our phones in the bathroom? I do it, I take it in there. We do not need to take our phone in the bathroom. We don't need to be scrolling while we're pooping. Yes, I'm in church and I just said pooping. But we do that. I saw this guy, he's like, there are two people in the world. People who check their phones before they go to the bathroom and people who check their phones while they're going to the bathroom. And that's it. And I'm like, I am neither one of those people. Plan some screen-free activities for you and your friends and family. Go hiking, go walking, go do something and intentionally put your phone. Like I went to dinner with my friend last night. Where was my phone? In my purse. It was not on the table. Number one, we sat at this tiny table and there was no room. But I was trying to be intentional about not being present with her, so phone went in my purse. I mean, yeah, if my parents need to call me, it's there, but it's not right here so that I'm constantly being distracted while I'm trying to spend time with my friend. Plan screen-free activities. There's this one's more for eye strain. It's called the 20-20-20 rule. Like for those of us who work on computers, if you spent, for every 20 minutes you're on your computer, you should look away from your computer, find something 20 feet away, and look at it for 20 seconds. Because during when I was teaching Spanish, I was on my computer all day, and I was in seminary at the time too, and so I was on my computer like all day long. And my eyes, that was when I had to get reading glasses. Like that's when I had to get glasses. Like my vision plummeted during those 2 years because I was on a screen all the time, and I did not follow the 20-20-20 rule. For those of you who like have to work on computers, every 20 minutes have a little timer that dings, and then find something across the room to look at for 20 seconds, and that helps strengthen your like far vision, you know what I mean? And finally, have an accountability partner. Have someone who's close to you who say, hey, I'm trying to not be on my screen so much. Will you call me out? If I bring my phone to bed and I'm sitting here binge watching on my tablet in bed, I need you to tell me stop it. Find someone who you care about, who you trust, who will say, I thought you were trying to do this. My friend, I was trying to lose weight. And we were at this like party, and I picked up like a Toll House cookie, and she's like, you don't want that. She took it out of my hand. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, you're trying to lose weight. I'm like, you're right. That's what you need. You need someone who would take the phone out of your hand and be like, I thought you were trying to cut back. You're right. Okay. Any of these techniques can help. Whichever one works for you, think about where you're getting hit the hardest. Is it in the morning? Is it at night? Is it after work? Is it during your lunch break? Find ways to break your reliance on this. You're going to find you have so much more time in your day. If you're not on your screen all the time, you will find that you have time to do the things that you need to do. We need to be wise, as Paul said. I'll go back. We need to be careful. We need to be wise. We need to make the most of our time, because the enemy is trying to steal your time and exhaust you. And all of God's children said, Amen. I have a dare for you, my dare. 4 practical things you can do this week. Check your phone screen time. If you don't know how to do it, I will help you. There in your settings, it says your screen time. And it'll tell you how much. If you're like, because I was like, oh man, am I like people my age? I checked it. Mine was only 2 hours. But that's my phone screen time. That doesn't count my Netflix time on my TV. But that'll give you an idea of how much time you spent. And then ask God, like, what would God want me to do with this time instead? God, okay, Lord, I see that I'm on my phone for 3 hours a day. I want to cut that down to 1 hour a day. Lord, how do you want me to spend those extra 2 hours? Lord, help me to break my habit. You could read Ephesians 5 and memorize the whole be careful how you live. And then to engage, set aside one intentionally tech-free meal or activity with your friends this week. Say, hey, let's get together and have dinner, and we're going to put phones away. Find a cookie jar in your house Or one of those old like sugar jars, and like make it your phone jar. And when people come to your house to eat, phones go in there. And we spend time together. We play board games. We go for walks. I play, like physically play. We go for hikes, whatever. Make some intentional tech-free time with your family this week or friends. All right, if you have not said yes to Jesus,